For me, it came from a place of frustration of working internally. I wanted to work with businesses that want to improve their marketing. I wanted to work with businesses that come to us and go, we need your help. So for the first couple of months, I said to Mum, like, let's just do what we can to help people, because we would want that in return. We're a new business. We need to be seen to be helping. So we didn't really charge. We offered to just help for nothing, and then some businesses insisted on paying us. So we naturally built up a little bit of free work helping people that I knew predominantly through my connections, and then gradually building up with some small retainers. Like, I think the first retainer we got was like £500 a month, and I was buzzing. One of the hardest people moments was we fired somebody over the phone once. So like, don't do that. If you run a business, don't fire someone over the phone. I had no idea what I was doing.
It's like breaking up with
Oh, it was bad.
Your other half on the phone.
Yeah, it was
like,
so.
Anyway, bye.
It was pure emotion. This person had come into the business, very, very talented individual, I have to say, very creative, uber talented, but really not culturally a good fit for us. And they came in, ruffled lots of feathers. They were not good for us, and we just were at the end of our tether. Like a few little warnings, a few little signs, and then it just got to the point where we were like, just don't come back. So I'm Hannah Brady. I run a marketing agency down in Northampton, a good couple of hours away from here, called the Brady Creative, and we're sort of marketing strategy, content strategy, helping people with everything in the day-to-day other than, like I said earlier, SEO, pay-per-click, things like that. We don't touch the really technical stuff.
More on the creative side.
More like the blend of like doing good creative but making sure that it's strategic as well, and that it's actually got a purpose rather than just it looks great. It's got to actually be trying to achieve something. So
I would describe us as like LinkedIn agency mates.
Yeah, good description.
And now somehow the stars have aligned where we've ended up having the same client and we're doing a podcast together. But you, I think, how long have you been going? Is it 6-7 years?
Yeah, we're 6 sort of around about this time, end of the month.
So I'm sure loads of people have got aspirations to set up businesses, and whether it's marketing or whether it's in different different industries. Why did you do it? How did it happen?
Yeah. So long story short, I worked in-house for small to medium-sized businesses for a good while before starting the business. I've never worked in an agency before. So this is my agency is the first agency I've worked in.
So that's interesting, because I'm the same as that. And a lot of people who set up agencies tend to have been in another agency. So then I was just like, how does this work?
What do I do? So I'd worked in-house for a long time, and I'd increasingly got myself into that scenario where you get a job as eventually the marketing manager, head of marketing. I was working for a couple of international companies before we started. So I'd built myself up from marketing exec to running the UK marketing arm. And I kept getting we want you to come in and we want you to, change things up and take us to the next level. That was the most popular one. I want you to take us to the next level.
That's up there with make it pop and can we make it viral?
And can we make it bigger? And so, I got that a lot. And in my last couple of jobs, I sort of went in, read the room a bit, got a feel for what was going well, what wasn't going well. And then about 3 months in, I would start to try and implement change and take it to the next level. And that's where I would start to get we can't do that. Oh, no, we can't do it that way. Oh, but I don't think people will like that. And I got increasingly frustrated with not being able to utilise all of my ideas. And I'm not saying they would have all been great, but I wasn't even getting to exercise 20% of them. And as a semi-creative person, that's really frustrating. So got chatting to my mum, and my mum's background is creative services, creative lead for big international companies.
Is it?
Yeah. So she used to run Europe, Middle East and Africa for a big agriculture firm. So huge job.
Runs in the family, the talent.
Well, mum is very creative. Yeah. I struggle with whether I'm creative. We're different that way, but I am. So anyway, we got chatting, and mum got made redundant after 18 years in that role and was working by herself, consulting for that company. strange scenario, but she hated being on her own. She was really struggling with it, and I wasn't happy in my job. And we just got chatting. Mum is like really good at the things that I'm not so good at. She's far more physically creative with graphics, design, art direction.
Right, yeah.
I'm more strategic, content creation, personal brand, that side of things. So I said, like, you're really good at the bits I'm not good at. I'm good at the bits you're not so good at. Like,
can we align?
Why don't I've always wanted to work for myself. I've always liked the idea of working for myself. Why don't we do it? And Mum was like, absolutely not. What if we fall out? You're my daughter. I'm scared. She's also, she was in her late 50s at this point. So I think we might have got a bit drunk, managed to convince her.
All the best ideas come up when you're drunk.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really drink anymore, but that's how this started, I would say. We got a bit of wine in us and I was like, come on, it'll be good. So we just sort of started, and then we started March 27th, 2020.
What?
Yeah. That was like the day we got all our paperwork from companies' houses. I think it was the same day. I'm pretty sure it was the same day Boris got on that lectern and went, we're going into lockdown. And I was like, that does not sound good.
So
it was all at the same time.
That was so had you quit your job at this point, or how was that? Was it a no way back? It was like, I have to do this. We're all in now.
So I got let's say I got let go.
Yeah.
I got myself in a bit of trouble because I said what I thought. And so I had to fast track the Brady Creative. So the Brady Creative was in the pipeline. I would have been leaving that business probably maybe 12 months later.
Yeah.
That got fast tracked. We had to just go. But it was right as COVID was hitting. It was like the first wave of COVID. So I panicked and was like, shit, I'm going to be on one of those BBC documentaries, working to homeless in 3 months. And then thank God I did it with Mum, because I was petrified. I think I cried for most of a week because I'd got 3 months worth of my bills in my bank. And I was like, this is real. We have to make this work.
Yeah.
And I think if I was doing it with anyone other than Mum, when Mum said, it's going to be okay, I'm fortunate that I've got a mum that I trust when she says that.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's all right, it's going to be okay. Mum says it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, in short, to answer your question, for me, it came from a place of frustration of working internally. I wanted to work with businesses that want to improve their marketing. I wanted to work with businesses that come to us and go, we need your help.
That was you. You drive.
Not banging my head against a brick wall, trying to help when the help isn't wanted.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I'm not that person that can just sit in a job and cruise. Like, I actually like to see progression, and each to their own. But I needed a bit more fulfillment. So I thought, I know, I'll start a business. And 6 years later, we're still standing.
Yeah. Amazing. Well done for starters. So then when you set up a business basically when COVID hit, which sounds horrendously stressful.
Yeah, it was pretty
dark. It's stressful enough, isn't it? We're setting up a new business.
Yeah.
But then you're thinking all the opportunities that potentially were on the horizon are now nerfed and kneecapped basically.
Yeah.
However, what was the actual reality of that? Because from my personal perspective, we were bricking it, and we actually lost 20% of our clients overnight.
Yeah.
So me and Charlie were like, fuck.
What do we do?
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
But as the weeks rolled on, we found the landscape quickly changed. But I don't know, how did you find it?
It was, so we had one client lined up.
Yeah.
They were going to be £1,000 a month, helping with tiny bit of social, but predominantly literature production. And because they were a manufacturing business in the office space industry, they had to furlough everybody.
Yeah.
So gone. So our one client gone. So we literally started with 0. And I said to Mum, look, people are going to want to stop their marketing. That's going to be the natural instinct here is stop. We can't be spending. The message we need to be pushing out is don't stop. If you can't afford help, we'll help you for free for now. So for the first couple of months, I said to Mum, let's just do what we can to help people, because we would want that in return. We're a new business. We need to be seen to be helping. So we didn't really charge. We offered to just help for nothing, and then some businesses insisted on paying us. So we naturally built up a little bit of free work, helping people that I knew predominantly through my connections, and then gradually building up with some small retainers. I think the first retainer we got was £500 a month, and I was buzzing. I was like, yes. And then when I told mum, I sold it with no, I didn't run it by mum at all. And then mum was like, Hannah, that's like a day of my work and you've just sold like 5 days for £500. I'd got no idea what I was doing, like zero idea. But the plan was just, let's just get a bit of revenue in.
Let's build it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did the same.
Yeah.
I was doing full websites for £500.
Yeah,
And now I look back on it and think, what on earth?
Yeah.
It'd take me a month to do it.
Exactly. Just complete novice.
Yeah.
But I think that's where my advocacy of personal brand like really helped. Like I'd been networking locally in Northampton through my previous jobs.
Yeah. So you built up a bit of a network.
A little
already.
bit, yeah. I'd always been Hannah from such and such a business, Hannah from another business, not really just like Hannah Brady as who I am. So I just made it my goal to just share the process. I was working from home. I was also going through like quite a big breakup personally, and I was really open about that. So I was like, I'm having a bit of a shit time.
Yeah.
And people
horrible.
people just backed me and helped me and like cheered me on. So I would say in the first couple of years, my personal brand probably brought in 80% of our business.
Yes.
And that's weaned off as the business has grown, but it still generates a lot of interest in what we do. So to be honest, that's what got us through the first couple of years, and the partnership of me and mum having different skills. But it was predominantly from existing network, and just put your name out there, tell people what you're doing, be willing to help, and it will pay back.
You've just got to, I think in marketing, I don't know if this is a marketing, I don't know, specific thing, but you've got to think kind of long term.
Yeah.
You just have to, you have to think, right, we're going to do this for like 6 to 12 months. Let's see what happens. Like, and then if it's showing signs of working, just continuing to do it. But I think and I get it, when people are spending their money on something, they want to see, right, after 3 months, like if this isn't working, then it's just like, we need to like stop it. But ultimately we know, because we do it.
Yeah.
Like even like with this podcast and stuff like that, it's only really gained, like actually started to get like people messaging me like, oh, I've seen the podcast.
Yeah. It takes time.
I'm interested in this, or it's taken 2 years,
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
You just got to stick with it. And that's maybe a privileged position sometimes.
I think particularly if you're doing things organically.
Yeah.
If you haven't got much budget to boost content without getting too technical, you've got to accept that it's a long game. Like you're fighting for people's attention, which is really small. Like the attention span of the average adult is minuscule now. So you've got to accept that you're fighting for people's attention when they're being bombarded with content day in, day out. So if you apply logic and you're not boosting it with, of course it's going to take a while.
Yes.
I agree. It can be hard. It can be hard to convince people of that when they're spending their money. But I very often say to people, if you think I've not spent a lot of money on my personal brand, you're wrong. Like, because my time is expensive.
Of course it is. Yeah.
And if I calculated the cost of all of the hours I've put into my personal brand, I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
So, it's time is a currency as much as money is.
And from a personal brand perspective, you're basically marketing yourself, which is basically marketing your business.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
And like you said, 80% of your business has come from that.
Yeah.
So you've got through the initial COVID hell.
Yeah.
Although some people loved it.
They
didn't love the people dying, but they loved the
didn't love that.
The actual lifestyle element of it. Some people like the slow down element of it.
Yeah, it was honestly probably, and I have to be careful who I say this to, but COVID, awful. Take what was happening medically and health wise for people out of the scenario, but it was 2 of the best years of my life. From a perspective of super hard to start with, I was going through a breakup. I'd been let go of a secure job and I was starting a business in the middle of a global pandemic when none of us knew what was going to happen. Like, that's character building.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you step out of your comfort zone. It makes you do the things that are uncomfortable. And I spent 2 years building the start of the business, learning how to hire, learning how to fire, learning how to piece myself back together after a horrible breakup. And by the end of that 2 years, I was like, this is great. Like,
it's quite exciting, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
fact
exciting.
That get yourself through it and to look around and go, we've got multiple clients and we now have a team and we now, I never took any of that for granted at that phase in the business at all.
Taking a step back is really difficult. So I'm always just constantly thinking,
where do we go?
Well, how do we solve this problem, or how do we go next, or what do we do next? You never really take a step back and be like, shit, I was sat in my bedroom when I first started this this business.
Yeah. When I first started the business, there was a guy called Ramesh who I used to do a bit of networking with. And he said to me, as I was leaving my last job and I was telling him what my plans were, he said, bit of advice, he said, always remember that whatever situation you're currently in will be once what you dreamt of having. So like, no matter how much you're struggling in business in 3 years' time, 5 years' time, 2 years' time, whatever it is, this was once what you wanted.
Yeah. That's a great point,
remember
actually.
that. So if I'm ever, that's something I do remind myself of, if I'm struggling or even if it's great, I'm like, this is what
it's a really positive
this
way
is
of
what
looking
I
at
wanted.
things,
Yeah. So reframe it and go, and that's why people say, be careful what you wish for, because it isn't for everybody. Like running a business is not for the faint-hearted.
No. I think everyone likes the idea of it, but the actual reality of it is...
it's not for everyone, like, for sure. I've got friends that are like, oh, I'd love to do it. And I'm like, you should not do it. Like, you've got to be willing to, but like I say, live outside of your comfort zone is the biggest thing for me. Can't remember the last time I felt like just comfortable. Like,
because you're constantly in a state of risk, I think.
Yeah.
You're constantly thinking, is there enough money? What happens if there isn't enough money?
Yeah.
Like, oh dear, that would be terrible.
Yeah. One of our clients runs an agency in India, and I was on a call with Elle, who's behind the cameras, a couple of weeks ago, and Monica, this lady's called, and she said, Han, do you ever like just worry that it's all gonna fall apart? And I was like, every single day. And Elle afterwards was like, do you really worry about that every day? And I was like, at some point in every day, there'll be like a fleeting moment where I'll go, don't fuck this up. What if this happens? Like, I wouldn't say maybe every day now, but it's very frequent that I'm like, shit, what if? Because you've built something that you love and people are working in your business. Like, you do feel a responsibility for other people as well, even though everyone has their own responsibility for maintaining a job. As the business owner, you do feel that.
You do.
And if you don't, I would like to know how you do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you do that.
I feel slightly different about that. I don't feel like am I going to fuck it up? Because I feel like I have already fucked it up and it's been fine.
Yeah. Fair.
Or things have happened that are really out of my control that I never, ever thought that would happen.
Yeah.
And it's still been fine.
Yeah. And most people, actually, if you're working with the right kind of people in your team and as clients, I have found over the last 6 years that clients choose us well and we choose them well, which is a real like skill that you have to develop.
Oh, 100%. You have to find people that align, like as people almost.
Yeah, you know straight away where you're like, yep, these are our people. These are not our people.
It took me too long to figure that out, though.
Yeah, it takes a while. You learn the hard way. But because we've got good at that, I know that I could call any of my clients if I was having a difficult day as a business owner and go, just a heads up, this has happened, I'm struggling. And they'd go, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because they're all in it as well. A lot of the people we deal with are very senior in the businesses or running the business themselves. So there's a relatability, they get it. And I went through a bit of a rough patch a few weeks ago with something personally. And the support I got, because everyone knew I was off kilter, because with me, if something's not right, it's really obvious, because I just look like I'm going to cry all the time. And everyone was great. Everyone's like, don't worry, give yourself a couple of days.
That's nice,
and it's, I think you create that as the business owner. You are part of creating that about how you select who you work with. But I'm really grateful of who we've got around us.
Great.
So in that sense, 6 years on, we're in a really good place I'm really happy with the community of businesses that we're helping.
Brilliant. Well, I think you've already done it then.
Just got to keep. You got to keep going.
You got to keep going. Just got to keep
decisions.
going. I don't know where I'm going, but I just got to keep going.
What do you do now? Just keep one foot in front of the other, day by day.
So 6 years on, you've gone from business with your mum. How big is the team now?
So there's 6 of us now.
Yeah.
That's including me, my mum and Paul, our co-director. At our biggest, there were 9 of us.
Right.
And that was really great, but also tough. So I'm quite enjoying the smaller team at the moment, but we are preparing to rebuild. We've needed to give ourselves like a year to just recover from the last couple of staff losses.
Yeah.
They were great people that were really integral to the team. And they left for the right reasons, but we've just needed to steady the ship. For the team that are left as well, like we just need everyone to find their place, get into their groove. We've got a team that really want to develop personally, which is great. So I'm quite enjoying the size, but hopefully over the next 12 months, we'll get a couple more people in.
That's good. That sounds good.
What are you guys at?
14, soon to be 15. No, we're at 13, but we've got 2 jobs out.
Yeah.
So what we've done, it's taken us 11 years to build in an organic, less risky way as possible, I think.
Yeah.
But now we've built out like heads of teams.
Yeah.
So trying to kind of future-proof the structure of the business.
Yeah.
In the way that we think is the right way. Whether it is or not, we'll find out. But it does seem good at the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you got to trust your gut on that sort of stuff, haven't you?
Yeah.
You can overthink it like quite easily.
Oh, no, you can. You can overthink anything.
Yeah, I mean, I am a professional.
You can overthink what I have for breakfast.
Professional overthinker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Really quite bad. Which is a good thing, I think, in business sometimes, because it makes me really conscientious. Like, if I wasn't of such an anxious disposition personally and didn't overthink things so much, I don't think I would be as focused on quality in my job.
Yes.
But yeah, I think then as a business owner, it can also, you have just got to trust your gut on stuff. So I'm better than I was. I think this year's probably been the best I've been at just going, it's okay. Like, what's going to be is going to be.
Yeah.
We've done as much as we can. Like you said, there's a lot that's out of your control as a business owner, like that's going on around you in the economy and in the world. You just have to do your best. And sounds really like wishy-washy, but trust your gut and build a good team around you.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. That was really good. So I'm just going to ask a few questions as we move on. So we've already discussed some difficult bits, but what's been the toughest moments running your business?
I mean, I thought about this because you'd said you might cover this, and it's a difficult one. I think the last 12 months have been the hardest in the business.
Really?
A lot of people would expect me to say the first 12 months because of COVID. But you're sort of working with no expectations in that first year.
100%.
And in your brain, you're going, right, I've got 3 months worth of bills. I've got to survive for 3 months. And then you go, okay, I survived. Right, I've now got to survive for the next 6. And you're sort of trying to take it on in chunks. Whereas once you've established and you've got a team, and I would say the Brady Creative we've built quite a solid reputation locally in quite a quick amount of time based on, we're competing with agencies that have been going for 10 plus years. And I would say our brand is one of the stronger brands in our county for sure.
Great.
But for me, it's been the people side of things has been really hard. I'm a very personable person, and I like to be liked. I'm not ashamed to say that. And I think when you're running a business, you have to be able to detach, because then if you have to have difficult conversations, if you really like that person and you've become too friendly with that person, it can be really difficult. So difficult. I've had to really develop around that. And I think one of the hardest people moments was we fired somebody over the phone once. So don't do that. If you run a business, don't fire someone over the phone. I had no idea what I was doing.
It's like breaking up with you,
Oh, it was bad.
Your other half on the phone.
Yeah, it was
bye.
It was pure emotion. This person had come into the business, very, very talented individual, I have to say, very creative, uber talented, but really not culturally a good fit for us. And they came in, ruffled lots of feathers. They were not good for us, and we just were at the end of our tether. A few little warnings, a few little signs, and then it just got to the point where just don't come back. But don't do that over the phone, because it creates a shitstorm, especially if they're on the media side of the business and they've got kit and we had to then try and get all of our kit. It was terrible. So that was a big
So do you
mistake.
reckon you knee-jerked there rather
100%.
than sitting
100%.
down? Don't why I have to sit down, or stand up.
Sit down, think about it.
Yeah. But then actually think about, right, if I do this, what will then happen?
Yeah. No, it was just red rage.
Yeah.
So how
just
dare you?
You were
it was
angry.
pure anger. So that was a big mistake, and that was quite hard, the aftermath of that.
Yeah.
But as a period of time, I would say the last year has been really hard. I've said to you when we've spoken on LinkedIn and stuff, this summer was the summer of 2025 was the worst summer we've ever had. There was just nothing.
This summer was just
happening.
Literally a tumbleweed.
Yeah. 100%.
But to be honest, I think that is just personally.
Yeah.
I think that this is a shift in whether it's our country or a Western world. If more people have got like families, there's more like women and men working at the same time. So that people just take more time off when the kids are off. Like, true. I know I'm very kid centric because I've got kids, and maybe this is wrong, but that's what I was finding. Not only but new business, but also my current clients were just not responding. Like,
it wasn't so much the current clients, if I'm honest. It was the thing that scared me. So we had 2 members of staff leave that were quite key members of staff. And you say about you've got to have like a backup, or you've got to reinforce the structure so that when people do leave, you don't go, shit, what do we do? We're a very small team, so anyone leaves and we feel it. And so we had 2 members of staff leave. We had 1 big retainer client that was coming over the line that backed out last minute, and that was a big retainer.
I think if that happens on its own,
fine.
That's challenge. No, I think that's hard.
It's hard.
I'm like shit.
What do we do? It's I accept it that it happens, and I'm always of the mind of it's happened. Let's have a look at why it's happened. Is there anything we could have done? And in this instance, there was genuinely nothing we could do. Their marketing manager had left, and then she hated her new job, and she came back. So it was literally like, well, we've got her back, so we don't need you now. And it was like, oh, okay, fine. So there wasn't really anything we could do about that. We had a couple of clients leave, a couple of members of staff leave. We were looking at a larger office, and then because of that, we couldn't move. So I was really struggling with. I felt like we'd caught some momentum, and we've grown every year for the last 5 years, and this is the first year that we won't have grown, which is really hard for me. I find that really difficult, but I also have to accept that growth for 5 years straight when you started in a pandemic is fantastic. Like, so, and as a business owner, you're going to hit bumps in the road. It's not just a linear, bit like we'd say with marketing. It doesn't just go like that. Otherwise we'd all be millionaires, So the summer was a really difficult period for me as a business owner and like personally, because I was just like, this is so fucking hard. And we'd got to a place where I was slightly away from some of the like stuff I'd been doing for years, like scheduling, some of the stuff that I don't want to do anymore. I want to be doing the consultancy pieces. I want to be going in and helping with the strategy. I want my team to do the bits that I've been doing for years, because that's part of their development as well. And I found myself having to step right back in, and I had to like gear change my energy. And it was really hard. I had to get back on the tools and do some of the jobs that I really don't like doing because I've been doing them forever. And that sort of, I did it. Of course I did. Yeah. I had to pay myself less. All of those things. Like there was a 3-4 month period where I was like, this is hard getting up like because I don't feel like I'm getting much of a reward for what I'm doing, but I've got to do it.
That's important to hear, to be fair, for other people.
Yeah,
no one ever talks about, I had to pay myself less.
Oh God, I was like struggling to pay my bills.
Like it's hard.
You've
got to pay everyone else, but if you have to cut your own.
If anyone's going to have to take a hit, it will be me and my co-directors first.
Like
it's us. We're the business owners. But you very often, you're right, people don't talk about it, but 3-4 months towards the end of last year, Christmas, I'll be really honest, I've never had a Christmas tree. Like I'm not like super Christmassy person. I live on my own. I live in a flat and I don't spend a lot of time there. And this year was the year I was like, I'm going to buy myself a Christmas tree. And I'd been paying myself a lot less and I just couldn't warrant buying one. And I was talking to Mum about it and I burst into tears. And I was like, I can't buy a Christmas tree. And she was like, I'll buy you a Christmas tree. Stop being so stupid. And she was like, it's all going to be fine. But it was just the weight of everything. I was like, we're not getting any new business coming in. Everyone's taking ages to make decisions. I'm worried about the team because we've just had 2 people leave that were really integral to the team. What's the culture going to be like? Everything was like...
I bet. It's overwhelming.
And I was like, is this what happens? Like they say, like if you get to 5 years, you've done really well. So I was like, we've done it and now we're going to crumble. Like it all felt quite heavy. And once it's a real privilege to go growth. And I had to sit back and go, well, you just need to take it on the chin hand. This is the first period of time where you're feeling like quite a few things aren't going your way. Suck it up. Like, come on.
It's part of the journey, unfortunately.
Yeah. And it's, I wouldn't like to go back 5 months, but it will probably happen again at some point. And I've got to accept that it's just part of running a business. But really tough that was. That's the hardest. That's been the first moment genuinely in the business where I was like, can I keep doing this?
Yeah.
This is really hard. But fortunately, I can keep doing it and I will keep doing it. So
Yeah.
we got through it, yeah.
And you got through it just through your own kind of resilience and perseverance, probably. But then were there any things that happened that helped with that? Like, did you get a few clients on board? I know you mentioned like you got a few.
Yeah.
Like what do you think? What do you think was the actual when you started to come out of that? Like, what do you think that was?
I think it's
about?
twofold. I think the team have massively stepped up. A, because they have their own ambitions, but like L, Sam and G, like shout out to the guys, they've all leveled up in the last 6 months because we've needed them to. They have wanted to for personal reasons, and we've been able to give them opportunities to do that. So I have really felt a huge support from the team that's enabled me to then go back out and be the face again.
Yeah.
Like actual physically networking, which I've had to get my head back around again. Just be in the face again.
Yeah.
Me and Paul are trying to get out more, talk to more people, expand the network again, because your network plateaus naturally.
Yeah.
We've also done a bit of a stricter marketing exercise on ourselves. So like, I don't care what anybody says, but when you provide a service for people, it can be very easy to neglect your own thing.
Completely.
Like, and again, I don't think people talk about that enough. We've always been really good on the socials, but we've neglected some of our other channels. So like, we're trying to step up on our email marketing. We've got a couple of slightly guerrilla pieces that we want to go out this year that we're working on in the background. So we took a look at what we were doing as well. So it was a blend of the team stepping up for sure, being able to get out more and talk to people more, and proactively working on some of our own marketing for a bit.
And do you think then that helps snowball your own confidence and motivation, and then things just tend to happen? You get the leads,
or like there was one project in the pipeline that had been sitting in the pipeline for 6 months. And they were like, "Cool, let's go." And I was like, "What? You've been silent for like 3 months. Where have you been?" But the budget came out in November, and that definitely made a difference to a lot of our clients, because it was quite like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. April was a shitstorm. We've all dealt with April. November wasn't too bad from a business owner perspective. So that shifted some movement in the pipeline. And then we won a couple of things really quite quickly. And just for me, it's the people that gives me the motivation. So we won a couple of new clients, Prestige being one, the client we're sort of meeting today with Lizzie, who's also behind the camera, no pressure. But you know, when you just go into a room and you're like, these are our people, we can help these people, they're going to be fun to work 100%. With. They're going to value what we do. And even it all just feels good, and you just go, I want to do this, like I want to help. So we had a few of those scenarios, and then I just had a good break over Christmas as well, and then came back in the new year like, right, let's fucking go.
Having time to just do other things apart from business is one of the most difficult things I've had to get my head around. But also, even now, like I took a day off, like it was last Monday, and I was like, oh my God, I should be at work. What am I doing? Like, but then after the day, after I'd spent the time at home and just switched off, I was like, oh no, I'm looking forward to going to, I'm now more motivated to like tomorrow to be like, right, I'm going to go in, I'm going to like, and I was better.
Yeah, and you'd have gone in on the day, say if you had gone in on the day where you're due to have it off, you wouldn't have been fully in the room anyway.
Yeah.
If you're feeling like that. I mean, it's very rare I take a day off and I go, I'm off.
Yeah.
But I play golf. So, and golf can be great for business.
Oh, absolutely,
so any women out there that run a business, learn how to play golf, it's great.
Or men.
Well, men do it.
I don't.
Men do it. You don't. But men, it is like a men's it's the reason I say women is because I went to my first golf event, business event. I was the only lady golfer. There was 100 plus golfers. Wow. And I was like, come on. I was like, where are the girls at? Like, where are they? So I play golf. So
that made you like a celebrity in that position then.
Oh, I was awful. I was so bad at golf at that time. So they remembered me for A, being shit, and B, for being the only woman in the room. So it wasn't like how I wanted to like make an impression.
But
still, memorable.
You made an impression.
Memorable. Being a woman and being shit at golf.
Inspiring.
Woo, let's go. So because I play golf, I'll sometimes take like half a day. I'll get invited to like a golf day, or a potential client will say, do you want to come and play golf? I'll go, and I'm networking. I am at work, despite what people say. But I also get to go and do one of my hobbies. So every now and then, like, I'd also do an early morning networking on a Friday, and I'll now give myself a few hours on a Friday afternoon to either go and work somewhere chill and do what I choose to do, not something because there's a deadline.
Yeah.
Or I'll go and play golf, or I'll
Yeah.
go to the gym, or I'll go running because I'm doing a stupid
good
running
idea.
thing at the moment. But
Yeah.
so I'll do it like that.
Because when you wake up and do those, like, and we've all done the early morning networking weekly meetings.
Oh yeah, it's a rite of passage.
It serves a purpose, but by lunchtime, you're knackered.
You're done, yeah.
Because you get up at 5 a.m. or whatever to get to this meeting at 6:30.
And you're on from like 6:30.
You are,
You're like, morning, how are you? La la la.
It's
la.
intense. It's that social battery,
difficult.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So there you go. Maybe do that instead. Take up golf, Nick.
I find it so boring.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not something that interests me.
I'll see if I can get if I played 18 holes by myself, bliss. 4 hours
On your own?
On my own. Sometimes put my tunes in, nature, hopefully hitting the ball well. And if I'm not, it doesn't matter. Just outside for 4 hours by myself, absolute heaven.
Yeah, fair enough.
Each to their own, though. Each to their own.
I can get on board with that. As I get older, I become more in tune with mindfulness. But
Yeah. It's not very mindful if you're playing shit, I won't lie.
I do like playing old computer games though, so that is my vice.
There you go. Each to their own. I'm terrible at gaming.
Oh,
Absolutely. I don't like how the controls vibrate now on like the new. They vibrate and make noises and on the place on the
like
play.
20,
Oh,
25
probably.
years. Yeah.
Probably. There you go.
Dear.
Not a gamer,
Sorry,
guys.
Hannah.
Sorry.
Anyway, the biggest changes in marketing since you started 6 years. 6 years go.
Oh, from the agency. Go. Wow.
No, not actually.
Just since I started in marketing.
You've
I did
previously
a
been in
degree
marketing.
back in. Yeah. God. I don't know. Like,
I think we have
a while
actually
ago.
had, without telling my story, I've had almost the same path.
With the same person.
Just
You're male, I'm female.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're
And I
in
hate
Hull and
golf.
I'm in Northampton, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
hate golf.
Yeah, so we're not
I
the
hate
same person.
gaming.
So
No, we're
let's
not.
stop that.
So what would I say has changed the most? I think the overwhelming choice of channels is a huge thing. I think people are more aware of like everything they could possibly do. So we sit in front of a lot of clients now that go, we're on TikTok, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube,
Oh my
we're
God.
on, and you're like, and who is doing all of that? And they go, oh, it's just me. And I go, okay. So I think it's a lot more overwhelming than it used to be. But then there'd be some people that say it's always been quite overwhelming. But I think in particular, social media, I think we have too many social media channels, if I'm honest. And this is coming from somebody that makes a living out of social media. I think lots of them are completely unnecessary and unneeded. So I think the evolution of social media has been, what's the word? In places quite toxic. I think a lot of people feel they are chained to it because they have to use it. Like lots of people have a love-hate relationship with the social media that they use to grow their business.
Yeah.
So I think there's a much bigger like mental weight for people now. Whereas you used to go, my experience was you used to go into work, you'd make sure 2 or 3 posts go out a week and then you'd go home and not worry about it. Whereas people now are like, how many people have liked it? How many people have viewed it? Like the vanity of it all since the explosion of like influencers and personal brand is just, it's too heavy a weight. Like I have to spend a lot of time with clients going, it's okay. Like it's not life or death. Who cares if they've got 5 more likes? Did you get any inquiries? That's what we need to be thinking
100%.
about. So I think the vanity and the like mental load of it is quite heavy from a social media perspective. And then I think more broadly speaking, the like boom of AI has just,
That was going to be my next question.
yeah.
So it's
like,
like,
just massively changed things.
so I mean, we
Where
could
do
do
we start?
we could do a full podcast about this. I'm just conscious not to go too much into this. But I suppose, where are you at with it on the love, hate,
Yeah.
devil, angel on your shoulder
Yeah.
side?
I'm more of a lover of it than a hater of it. But I am a bit concerned about how we continue valuing and respecting creativity with AI now in the world, because I think the biggest danger with AI in our world in marketing is if you are a shit copywriter, as an example, and you put an okay prompt into AI, it's going to give you something that's not as shit. It's still pretty bad if you're actually a skilled copywriter, but it's taken the skill level from like 0 to here really easily for people.
Yes.
So as skilled marketers and creatives, you then have to be up here to be competing, because people are using AI to upskill themselves, which makes it harder for marketers to prove their worth, because they'll go, well, I can just use AI for that. I was in a meeting the other day about SEO with a partnered agency of ours, and the client actually said, our IT guy thinks that we can completely do SEO with AI. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. Didn't go into too much detail, but that's the challenge we've got, is people don't feel they need specialists as much as they did 5 years ago.
I have seen some client, or not actual clients of ours, but people do that and make catastrophic mistakes.
Of course they do.
Because ChatGPT is the biggest yes person around.
Exactly. It's the biggest hype man going.
Yeah, and they're like, how shall I do this? Is this a good idea?
That's a great idea.
That's an amazing idea.
You're amazing.
You could be like, should I invade? I don't know. Like,
do it.
Yeah.
That's probably, well, I'm not going to say anything. That's probably what Trump did.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But,
and ChatGPT's like, that's a fantastic
What a great idea,
that's
Donald.
Character building.
Crack on. Yeah. So I do think it's dangerous in that sense. I also, so we use it in the business for more like if there's a blank page in front of us and we're all particularly tired, or it's been a heavy day, and the client goes, can you help me think of something by tomorrow? And you go, I don't know. We'll use it for initial ideation. Very rarely do we go, yeah, that's brilliant, we'll go with that. But it'll go like that, but we would do it that way, or we would think about that.
We've done a bit of that as well. Yeah, just to kind of hone it down. Like, especially, like there was a woman who came to us for like a business name, and we must have spent 4 of us in a room for an hour, just like discussing ideas and working with AI. And then we actually came to a couple of really good ideas. And it is like a genuinely great, like unique business name. Got the domain, everything.
Yeah.
Like,
it does some of the critical thinking for you when you're, and I think when you're in agency life, there'll be days where I touch like 7-8 of our accounts. And then a client will ask me a question at 5 o'clock where they need something quite creative for the next day. And it's like they think you've just got like a bank of like taglines or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, it's 5 o'clock on a Thursday.
Yeah. It's not
Give
ideal.
me a minute.
Yeah.
So that's where I will use it to help me with the initial ideas. We use it creatively, very openly with clients. So like we use it in graphics. We've got a client that make products for offices, but Sam, our graphic designer, has been doing quite a lot with AI. That's meant that we haven't had to do as many photo shoots, which has been really cost saving for the client, and the output is fantastic, if I'm honest. So we're using it in that sense quite a lot, but always very transparently. And I'm really interested in how it can help us with processes. That's where I don't want it to take over the creativity, because I don't want the people in our business to lose their creativity. I don't use it for first draft copy. Like ever. No. I'll draft it out and then I'll put it in and I'll help it tweak things if I'm not happy. But I think on the process side, it could be fantastic. We're not even scratching the surface with how it could help us with our processes. And again, I don't have the time at the moment to properly look into it. I would love a bit more time to actually delve deeper into how we could use it. I would say at the moment we're using it quite sporadically.
On the performance side, it's great because you can do like mini audits, or you can crunch data so fast.
It is good that way.
But as time goes on, my opinion, whether this will happen or not, is that there will be roadblocks, as with any platform, with social media in the AI world. I mean, you've already got the security data issues with what's going on in America, for starters. You throw ads in there. Imagine if you start speaking to frigging whoever AI bot you use, and they go, by the way, this is an ad, but you can use this. And you're just like, oh fuck. All of a sudden it just loses its I mean, it's not authentic at all. It's the opposite.
I was like, he's going to use the A word. Yeah.
But
it's a tool for efficiency, in my opinion. And I think if you are, as an example, we had a client approach us that really didn't have a lot of budget, and they were like, I really need help with like long form copy, like long form content as part of our SEO strategy. And I was like, okay. I said, I tell you what, my recommendation at the moment would be you need to use us as an editor, not a copywriter. So if you use us as a copywriting arm service, it's going to cost you a couple of grand over the course, or a few grand over the course of this period of time. I'll show you how to do some prompting, put some stuff into AI, you get your first draft from AI, we will then edit based on your tone of voice, based on what you're trying to achieve, based on your SEO plan, and you'll take that multiple £1,000s to a few £100.
Yeah.
And that was, for them, they were like, oh, brilliant. Because they're going to get the same output. They're going to get a professional copywriter looking at what they're doing, knowing how SEO works, knowing how to do it properly, but for a fraction of the cost.
Yeah.
So,
and I suppose that's why the big loser in AI, the initial rollout of AI, has been copywriters.
Yeah. I mean, I posted something the other day, like quality copy that's like you can tell hasn't been produced by AI is rare. You don't see much of it anymore.
No.
I follow a few like hardcore copywriters, and they're like I go to them for like a bit of like genuinely creative copy that's been produced purely by a human.
The biggest obvious thing for me now is people writing their social media posts purely using ChatGPT.
I mean,
I get it, and I understand, but
you can just see straight through it though now. And and this is what I mean, like take LinkedIn as a platform.
Sounds the same, and then it just
But you take LinkedIn as a platform now, and there's a lot of AI content being produced, which again, for those of us that have been chugging away with like genuinely authentic content for years, we've all got to work harder to stand
up. Do we
up.
there?
Oh, I think we do, because people are getting used to this like
I never thought about
blandness and going, oh yeah, there's another post. So to stand out, you would think it would be easier, but I think the skills gap is closing because people are getting used to this like nothingy content.
Yeah.
The amount of social media that I see that I go, that's actually doing quite well, but it's terribly written and it's terribly put together. And imagine if you actually did it properly with a human voice, imagine what it could do then.
It's interesting because who knows? We don't know, do we? We just have to go
We'll
with
find
what it
out.
is at the moment.
We'll sit down again in like
on a
6
personal
years'
note,
time.
I like just taking a photo and be like, in my garden.
Yeah, your content's really good because yours is like, it's your personal, you can see that it's your life and just things that are happening.
Oh yeah, I use it as like therapy. Yeah, I just post my shit on there.
This happened today and it was terrible. Any advice?
Yeah.
How do you entertain a child during half term?
I hate my life currently. How can I solve
your half term posts? I always look forward to those. I'm like, what's going to happen in Nick's half term? I don't have kids, so
somewhat bad, but it's usually good.
Entertaining.
Yeah. It's entertaining. Yeah. But no, it's like even like on a personal note, like taking a photo of like, I don't know, a window and be like, what do these curtains look like in here?
Yeah.
Or how can I how can I like buy a gazebo and how can I cover this area in my garden?
What a great word, gazebo.
Yeah. Gazebo. Yeah.
Great in a northern accent.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
I don't use it that much. I did recently use it to build me a training plan for something I'm doing. Whether it's a very good training plan or not, I have no idea. I'm now using an accredited app, so don't worry. But I don't use it too much personally, if I'm honest. I've avoided it.
I use it for funny things.
Yeah,
just
fair.
Funny, taking the piss.
I'm one of those people, to be fair, though. When I'm not at work, I really try not to be on my phone that much. So tech isn't my like best friend outside of work.
Right.
I like to be out in nature, hitting a ball, playing golf badly.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's keeps a good yin and yang.
Yeah. Not always, don't get me wrong. There are some periods where I'm like on my laptop in the evening, sorting stuff out, getting things ready. I don't want to like paint this picture that I'm like really zen outside of work because I'm not.
Sometimes you can't not. This is something that you have to jump on.
Yeah.
Right. I suppose we've covered so much there in such a short period of time, but what do you reckon? What does your future look like personally?
God. I am trying to get myself to a point where work isn't the biggest part of my brain. As in, I would love to say in like 5 years' time, be going on regular holidays. I do go on holiday, but sort of normally at the end.
Christmas.
Normally at the end of the year, where like everyone's a bit burnt out. So more regular holidays, more regular downtime. That's not where I'm like trying to claw 4 hours of golf together, or it's more planned and I can properly chill,
like a switch off.
Yeah, and I want the business to be. I'm just trying to build a nice lifestyle business for me and for my team. Like I want there to be flexibility. I want everyone to feel like they've got some authority and autonomy in the business, that they're not chained to their desk 100%. And they can go, Han, I can't work today because I've got this, but I'll pick it up tomorrow. Not a problem. So that's where I'm trying to get things to. But I honestly just want to spend a bit more time with my friends and family. Play golf, get really good at golf. I want to get to like low single figures if I can. And just enjoy myself outside of work and not always have that like what's happening over there in the back of my mind. So I don't really want for very, very much, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe that's quite a lot. Some people would be like, oh, I want to live in like a massive house and I want to have a holiday home here. I just want a bit more time where my brain is running at like 10%.
I think personally, my experience of people similar to our age, we want different things from our business, and it's more lifestyle than it is. Yeah. I don't give a shit what car I have, really. No. Like, I want it not to break. I
mean, I've just bought my first car that's got like the heated seats, and I'm like, whoa, like this is so cool. Yeah. But if someone said to me, you've got to give that car back tomorrow and have a Ford KA, I really don't really care. It's experiences for me. Like I want to go to more. I love music. I want to go to more gigs. More. I'd love the business to be fueling a slightly freer lifestyle. Like I do at times still feel quite chained to the business, but
it'll get there.
It'll come. And to be honest, there's probably always going to be a bit of me that's going to want to be chained to it because I'm like, I love it. And I think very often when you start something and you build the people and the team in it, you still want to be a part of it. I can't see myself wanting to separate from it like ever. So sorry, guys. You're stuck with me.
Yeah. I mean, I set this business up when I was 25 and my brother was 21.
Fair play.
I'm now 40 in a couple of months.
Whoop, whoop. That's amazing.
That's over a third of my entire life.
But have you got the balance in your life? So you've got kids as well, so it's different. But
I feel like since having kids, I've forced myself to have that balance. Yeah. Because you can soon slip into it and I'll just never see my kids. Yeah,
I don't have kids, and there've been times where, because I don't have kids and I live on my own, my time is my time. So sometimes I'd get home and then the laptop comes straight back out. And then I've lost an evening to work again. And it's I've gone through long periods where all I felt like I do was work, sleep, eat and train. But there's worse things we could be doing. Like I'd rather do this than work for some knobhead, which I've done many a time. So I'd take being chained to my own business than being chained to somebody else's any day.
Yeah, TLDR. That's a good word.
What's that? TLDR?
Too long didn't read.
Too long didn't read. Yeah, read the fucking email was one of ours.
TLDR.
Yeah. Never again.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. Thanks,
Nick.
Really great. And if anyone, after hearing this, wants to get in touch with you, how can they do it?
LinkedIn's probably the best place. Just Hannah Brady. You'll see me, big cheesy smiley face with my glasses on. Or you can follow the Brady Creative, and I'm also on there. But if you want to connect with me, then the Brady Creative.
And what's your website?
I never read our website out. I've got to think www.thebradycreative.co.uk.
Well, thank you very much.
Welcome. Thanks, Nick.